And this matter is before the court this afternoon on the petitioner, Ms. Marashi's request for an order to show cause why Ms. Jaffe should not be held in contempt of court for violation of the court's personal protective order. Of course, we conducted a couple-day hearing a couple weeks ago on a previous violation. My understanding is these are additional violations. So as an initial matter, counsel, would you please place your appearance on the record? We can begin with Ms. Yard.
Yes, Christine Yared, here on behalf of the plaintiff. I wanted to add, Judge Rossi, I had dental work done, therefore I'm slurring my speech somewhat. So I wanted to let you know that, let you know why, if you're hearing that.
You're totally comprehensible to me, Ms. Yard.
Excellent, excellent.
Christian Krupp on behalf of the respondent. And my understanding, Your Honor, you finished up a couple weeks ago with, I think that I would call it the companion case of this. It wasn't this actual file, as I would have been told.
I see. Okay. No, and that could very well be. Well, since today is just the initial arraignment or the order to show cause hearing, as it were, in the PPO context, I do need to advise Miss Jaffe of her potential liability. So, Miss Jaffe, if you'd please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony today will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
And Ms. Jaffe, you understand if I did find you in contempt of court, I could give you up to 93 days in the Kent County Jail and or a $500 fine.
Yes.
And having been through a hearing on the factual basis for a prior, at least a companion case or a different set of facts on a violation, you know you're entitled to a hearing and entitled to be represented by an attorney during that hearing, correct?
Correct.
As such, do you wish to enter a plea of guilty of violation of the PPO today or not guilty? I guess that should go to you, Mr. Krupp.
Yeah, I'd be not guilty, obviously.
Very well. Then I will enter a not guilty plea and I will set the matter for a hearing. Lisa, do we have a date and time?
I do have one of our standard dates and time of January 31st at 3 o'clock on Zoom. That is a half-hour block. Is that going to be okay?
Let me turn to Ms. Yard.
Thank you. I'm requesting that the hearing not be on Zoom. I also think it will take longer than a half hour.
What's your estimation, your best estimate, given the last one and the facts in front of us this time, on time?
I would say an hour for our side.
Okay. And Mr. Krupp, how much do you think on?
I would say whenever somebody says an hour, then I'm thinking it's more like 3 hours, but
you naturally just double using that contractor math, Mr.
yeah,
Krupp?
I do actually do my
Gonna take an hour to fix my toilet.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
my wife's theory. If I tell my wife it's an hour, then she says, "Oh, so you're saying it's going to be 3 hours?" That's typically how it goes with the timing of things. And then again, I wasn't involved in round one, but I understand it took forever and a day for the last round one. So I don't think things are quick and easy, I would guess.
All right. Well, I think in an abundance of caution, then I will grab at least a 2 hour, possibly more block of in courtroom time for this, since Ms. Yard's requested the hearing to be held in person, and I'll just simply send out a notice as to when that's going to be conducted. It will be after the first of the year. I can tell you that much, since I'm only here next week, and that time is all spoken for already.
No, that sounds great, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Very good. Thank you all. And this matter is before the court on petitioner Ms. Jordan's request for a motion to show cause and find respondent in violation of the PPO. And of course, the respondent is not present, which is not a surprise because I think we've done this before, and also did not have the respondent appear for today's hearing. I was provided notice that Miss Shanitra Bowman Rogers, respondent, was served in Detroit, Michigan, personally by a Mr. Marvin Johnson, with notice of today's hearing. Um, uh, did you hear back? Is that process server Marvin Johnson someone that you know, Miss Jordan?
Marvin Johnson is my husband, who she's also now threatening to kill.
Okay, and he served her personally in Detroit?
He did.
Okay, all right, and well, she has notice and should be here, but is not. However, already having a bench warrant out for her, I don't know what additional steps I can take at this point. I think we're about as far as we can get until she gets picked up.
Well, Judge Rossi, I would just like to politely ask that this is extended, that this PPO is extended. And I would like to also ask that I did submit a subpoena with this. I would like that subpoena to be issued because it would give you a lot more light as to what's going on. Like, this lady is also telling me that your clerk is conspiring with her to help kill me. Like, it's just all kind of stuff that's just ridiculous. This subpoena is for Heather, who is from Kent County Police. Yeah, she's telling me that the clerk is reaching out to her and is going to help her to kill me and to hurt me and my family and just all kind of stuff. I really believe that having Heather here from the police station, who I have talked to, that it would shed more light on things. I've recorded phone calls from the police station where I've reached out and told them, like, this lady is doing this, she's threatening me. I have communication from her. At this point, I'm just trying to figure out what additional steps to take, and that's why I did submit that subpoena.
Okay, I'm gonna take a look here and see if I'm showing the requested subpoena. And who you're trying to subpoena is someone at the Kent County or the Grand Rapids Police Department?
Yes, it's from Kent County because when I did speak with the clerk, she did say that she had reached out and there was no report of any of this made. And not only did I record the phone calls, but I would like Heather here so that she can testify as to what I already have recorded, because this is just, the threats are just too much. Someone rammed into my car with me and my children in the car, and I'm getting communication from this same person and people that she's conspiring with, saying that she's gonna, that me and my family are gonna be found dead in a car. So, and this recently happened on the 15th, where someone just drove a large truck into my car with my 1 and 2 year old and then drove off.
Oh, and I'm sure you must have made a police report about that, correct?
We did. We went to the hospital. The
Okay.
whole family did.
Which agency did you report to?
The hospital that we went to was it was St. Mary's in Livonia.
Okay, well, that would be a different police department then. Probably the Livonia Police Department or the Wayne County Sheriff, maybe.
It was probably, I would have to see who they report to just to be sure, but I can make an additional report with Kent County as well.
Well, if you're getting threats here in Kent County, that's what I'd recommend doing. I don't have the copy of the subpoena in the file. It probably just didn't make it yet. And I'll take a look at it when I get it. With regard to the extension, given the ongoing events that you're stating, I will grant an extension. I'll grant an extension for a year. From, I think it expired actually by its terms yesterday, 12/12. I'll simply extend it to 12/12 of next year, 2025. I can do that. Well, I'll just take a look at the subpoena when it comes in front of me, and I'll keep the bench warrant out there. You live here in Kent County, correct, Miss Jordan?
That's correct.
Okay, all right, yeah, that's what I thought. So if some of these threats are coming across on text or calls or whatever, and you're receiving them in Kent County, the only thing I could add to this is I would recommend calling the local police department and making a police report or a record of it, just simply that way. If we ever do get Miss Bowman Rogers picked up on a warrant, and that's somewhat dependent on, she comes over here, she's likely to be picked up on it. The local police have to decide over there whether they want to enforce my warrant or not. But when and if she does, and we do conduct a trial on the matter, that'll all be useful as evidence. If you have some police reports, that are made based on her threats to you. So,
Okay.
but I think
Yes,
that's a
I'm
little
keeping
bit,
everything. I'm recording the phone calls and everything. So,
yeah, no, that's good. Keep all a record of that. It'll all be relevant. Um, uh, like I say, if we ever do get to a point where we can conduct a trial on the matter. So, very
okay.
good. Then I think we're about as far as we can get. I will send out the grant of an extension of the PPO. I'll sign it and get it out as soon as I can.
Okay. Thank you, Judge Rossi.
All right, very good. Good luck to you, Ms. Jordan.
Thank you.
And this matter comes before the court this afternoon on respondent Ms. Russell's request to modify the PPO to allow both parties to be present on certain Zoom meetings. So, as an initial matter, I would invite the parties to state and spell your names for the record. We can begin with the petitioner. Is it Miss Sutliff?
Miss Bueno.
Bueno. Uh,
Oh,
are you counsel, Miss Bueno, or are you?
yes, I'm representing the petitioner. And I just want to clarify that we're actually here on petitioner's motion to modify to prevent the respondent from being in Zoom hearings and
Okay. All right.
emails.
And Miss Bueno, you're counsel, so you're appearing as an attorney of record?
Yes.
Okay, all right, very good. And Ms. Russell, would you state and spell your name, please?
Marian Russell, Marian Russell.
Very good, thank you. And I'll apologize to both parties in advance. It took me a minute to get ready for this. For some reason, this didn't appear on my electronic docket today, and thus I didn't bring the entirety of the file home with me. However, Lisa was able to provide me with a electronic copy of the PPO that I signed back on, it looks like in August of this year. And so I'll invite Ms. Bueno to state what you're looking to do today.
Sure. Thank you, Your Honor. So we filed this motion to modify because the PPO was granted in August of 24. It was actually extended in September of 24. Ms. Sutliff actually hired me initially to do a motion to show cause because the respondent kept coming to meetings. But once she was told by one of the I don't know if company is the right word, but one of the coalitions that she was not allowed to come to the meeting because the respondent could be there. I decided to change it to a motion to modify to protect my client going forward. The respondent has included my client in numerous emails through these groups. The respondent has also been in numerous Zoom meetings. Initially, she was there with the cameras on. Once I got involved, she was there with the cameras off. Unfortunately, these coalitions and companies are aware of the PPO, but they feel like because it does not specify Zoom, that it does not cover those meetings. And that forces my client to be afraid to really open up. There can be a lot of personal information about, where people are going and what they're doing. And, she does not open up because the respondent has been allowed to be there.
Okay, and can you tell me in more detail what those specific groups and coalitions are?
Yeah, so I listed them in our motion.
And I'm sorry, I don't have that in front of me. I don't have any of the file. The only thing I have in front of me is the PPO I signed back in August.
That's okay. So I list them. There's, first of all, the Great Start Family Coalition. That is the coalition that told my client not to come to a meeting, and that's when I decided to file this motion to modify. Another one is the Prenatal Collaborative. I'm sorry, it's the West Michigan Prenatal Collaborative. There's also the Mitten Mamas. With that one, I believe the respondent has not been a part of it. We just want to make sure that continues going forward. And this other one, I'm honestly not 100%. How does
That's Miigwech.
Miigwech? And I can spell that for you if you would like.
Yeah, I think you better do it.
So it's MIGWECHINC.
The respondent's not involved in that one.
And the respondent is not involved in that one, but we want to make sure that stays that way. And these are all things that my client has been, deeply involved in for years. And the whole reason she got the PPO was because respondent was using these coalitions, collaboratives, and things to send messages, basically harass the petitioner.
Okay. Now, you also mentioned some emails. Are these in the nature of group emails that have been sent out that have included Ms. Sutliff?
Yes. So the emails I'm referring to, the respondent, my understanding is she has been replying to emails. Ms. Sutliff was in the group of people that was replied to, but she also did not, it was not part of her job or anything that she needed to be a part of.
Okay, I see. So they've been group replies sent by Ms. Russell that intentionally or unintentionally have wound up in the inbox of Ms. Sutliff. And further, your argument is, well, this isn't necessary for Ms. Russell to weigh in on these issues. This is an extra or a social activity, not a professional activity.
Well, I won't say that. I won't say that's not. I would say it is professional activity, but it's more of like a volunteer stipend work type. It's not an official job title. My client has worked years on building these things to help early education and homeless people and people that are in need. So it doesn't fall under a specific job, but she does receive stipends for these. Yeah, she does receive income.
And I'm on contract.
And she is also on contract.
Okay, I see. Your client is, but Ms. Russell is not, as far as you know. It's not her source of income.
Well, I believe that there is one that she has a contract as well. And she literally went on contract here recently when she started harassing my client.
Okay, and that's the Great Start?
Yes.
Okay, and I guess like in a case like that, it's almost like a shared workplace in that case. Is there a way that I can have that Ms. Russell can participate and do her work, whatever it might be for Great Start, and not come into contact with your client?
I don't know.
There is no
No, my client says no.
Okay, all right. And obviously she didn't hire Miss Russell. It's rather someone else hired her, and now they both are potentially getting some stipend or contract work from Great Start.
I would just like to reiterate the whole reason my client got a PPO was because the respondent started joining all these things to further harass the petitioner. Like my client has been doing this kind of work for years, and then the respondent has not. This is all brand new. So to say that she's heavily involved in these things, it's really to harass my client.
All right. And when you say harass, has the some of the contact that's been responsive or in these emails or Zoom meetings been harassment, or is it just simply contact?
I would say it's more contact. I didn't see anything in particular that I would say is harassment, but I would say the problem is my client is afraid to open up more at these Zoom meetings because she doesn't want the respondent knowing anything about her kids or where they're going or what they're doing, to kind of protect the confidentiality of her family.
I see. In the context of participating in some meetings that are on Zoom,
Yes.
that information might be revealed.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I think I understand what's being asked here. Let me swear in Miss Russell, and then I'll ask her to respond, and I'll let you know, Miss Russell, after you're sworn in, then Ms. Bueno, I'll have the opportunity to cross-examine you on any statements that you make, and I'll have some follow-up questions, thereby to get your side of the story. So, Ms. Russell, would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony today will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. What's your response on these meetings and email lists that you participate in? It's alleged here by the respondent that, your sole basis for participating is to access her and information about her. What's your response? I mean, is that correct? Could I cut you out of those things in this PPO and not have any effect on you? What's your response?
Absolutely not. I've been in early childhood in Kent County for over 20 years. I have a master's degree from Aquinas College in education. I have been on several different committees, collaboratives, and various teaching jobs with community outreach for over 20 years in Kent County. I actually am the one who helped Kara get some of those positions early on when I was teaching full time. When I had my son last year, I quit teaching for a while. I was experiencing postpartum depression. And so, in order to get some income as a single mother, I did join some different collaboratives. Kara and I were best friends for 7 years. She was my daycare provider. And so, when I was telling her that I was looking for stipend work or money that I could make that worked around my kids' schedule, and I still have all the emails from this, she is actually the one who sent me the information trying to get me on one of the collaboratives. With the Great Start Collaborative, I've been a Great Start teacher for over 10 years. So I've been doing this work actually much longer. As far as the Mitten Mamas and the Mishweg, I've never been a part of those committees. That's one of Kara's best friends who is the owner of that nonprofit. I've never been a part of that. I did reach out to her while Kara and I were still best friends, and I asked her if she was looking for any more mothers to join what they call like a Mitten Mama committee. And at that time, Meredith had kind of told me like what the process was to get started on that. So I was served this PPO by Kara's ex-husband, who she is still currently with. And being served with this PPO order, I have abided by every single piece of the PPO order. In the original PPO order on the other line, Kara had asked that I not be able to join any stipend work that she was a part of, but you had not approved that portion of it. So like in my opinion, like I have not now, nor have I ever been a threat to Kara Salif. She was my childcare provider and my best friend and actually a coworker for several years. When I decided to quit using her for childcare, she was angry about that. She said things like, "What, I'm not good enough for you," and just different things. It was a personal matter there. When I received the PPO, everything in that PPO was completely false. I had proof that none of that had happened and that I actually am the one who ended our friendship because it was very toxic.
I
And so
can
I
just
took it to
pause you, Miss Russell, but you never filed, it doesn't, well, I don't have the file in front of me. Did you ever file an objection to the PPO?
I did. I filed to terminate the PPO, and so that was in front of Judge Christensen. While we
And
were
he
in
must have
court,
left it in place then.
yes. So while we were in court, and I have the transcripts of that, while we were in court, he had said several times that there was absolutely nothing that warranted a PPO and that everything that Kara was saying was not any form of harassment. There was never any proof shown from either side. At the very end of the court hearing, Kara got her friend, who is Meredith, one of the people who, or the person who runs the Mitten Mama Miigwech, to stand up and testify. She was never sworn in, but she testified that I harassed her, but she had no proof of it. What I did do is send her screenshots of the message between me and Kara, was where Kara was being really like maliciously rude to me.
Your
For-
Honor, respondent is treating this like another motion to terminate.
Yeah, no, okay, and I am getting caught up a little bit here because all of this is new. to me, and obviously we're not going to terminate the hearing, but I mean, I guess what you're saying is in any case, some testimony got delivered at the that hearing in front of Judge Christensen, and he ultimately left the PPO in place.
He
Yeah,
actually,
so
And
so
that's
when
really
he,
where we stand today, I guess. And given that, I've got to make a determination today, what activities the PPO should bar and what it shouldn't bar. So, all right. And I mean, I guess what I'm hearing from you, Ms. Russell, you got to explain to me, you said some of these collaborations are, how do they earn income?
so there's stipend work. However, Judge, at our last court hearing, Miss Bueno, Kara's lawyer, who's also her long-term and long-time personal friend, they had requested that I paid lawyer fees at that time, and the judge had said no. I chose at that time to withdraw from both collaboratives. I have 2 other full-time jobs. I am not part of either of those collaboratives and haven't been since the end of October. I also haven't joined any Zooms since October because I withdrew. The only emails that I've responded to is for work that I did with a company called Be Heard Productions, where Kara actually sent me the emails and screenshots of me and my kids. I am taking this to Michigan Court of Appeals because I feel she's harassing me. She's asking me for lawyer fees for her good friend Melinda over there. But I'm not the one taking this to court. She is. So I just feel like I'm the one being harassed, actually. And our
Well, and
friendship
if I could
ended.
just pause you, it sounds like if I were to add then, no joint presence on Zoom, that it wouldn't harm you at this point, because you've discontinued participation on the forums where you were together on Zoom.
So yes and no. So I still do work with Great Start for one of my full-time positions. And because Kara is actually a parent representative on these collabs, if she's ever to join one of these meetings, this is a very big group in Kent County for early childhood, which is my profession. And so there are chances that she could be on a Zoom where I'm on it as well. But like I said, since getting served with this PPO, I have absolutely never done anything outside of what the PPO allows. And it really affected my income. Our children go to the same school. I'm no longer allowed to attend in-person events with my daughter because her son goes there as well and she might be there. So it's actually affecting and did affect my income and my ability to be there for my daughter who does not have a father. Her father passed away. So as a single mom, I can't do the things that I typically do as a professional in the city, which I'm just saying, okay, and waiting for this PPO to run its course. Unless, taking it to Michigan Court of Appeals, I can get it dropped there. But I just feel like me not joining the West Michigan Perinatal Quality Collaborative, which is what it's actually called, and then also the Great Start Family Collaborative. Those are two different collaboratives in the city that I will continue to do work with. I'm just no longer a parent rep with them. I'm actually employed by them now.
And those are Great Start. And what's the other one?
The West Michigan Perinatal Quality Collaborative.
Okay, yeah. Perinatal, is that's after delivery, right?
Yeah, before and after. We do work
Okay.
for pregnant and new moms.
Got it. And your roles in both of those collaboratives aren't necessarily as a stipend or a paid volunteer, but you participate in them. What's your role?
So I'm a teacher, a full-time teacher for the Great Start Family Collaborative, or
Okay.
the Great Start Collaborative has different sectors. And then for West Michigan Perinatal Quality Collaborative, I'm doing work with them on postpartum depression for our city, because I experienced postpartum depression, and so they had asked me to do some work and partner with them. So I'm no longer a parent rep for either.
Okay, all right, and in that, I mean, as far as at least in the postpartum work that you're doing with the perinatal group, that you wouldn't have anything that would bring you into contact with petitioner. here.
Unfortunately, I would. Her and I are both doing things. We made a video basically where 5 people in Kent County stories were shared. This is the email that I've responded to. So Kara sent an email a few days ago saying, screenshotting a picture of my family and other families and sending it to me. And my response was, I'm so grateful to be part of this collaborative, although this, is not a flattering screenshot of my family. And it wasn't directed towards her at all. It said to West Michigan Perinatal Quality Collaborative participants. I have not had any contact with Kara. I don't wish to have any contact with Kara, which is why I ended our friendship. And I've never been in trouble in my life. I've never had a PPO in my life. The reason I took this to be terminated is because I do not agree with anything. I understand why the PPO was granted, because what she said in the PPO, if I were a judge, I would grant it as well. However, they were completely false statements, and she never gave any kind of proof during our court, court to get it terminated. So Christensen approved that the PPO stay in place and be extended after Kara's best friend got up and spoke as if I was one of her employees.
Right. Well, and that's
never
kind
able
of
to
water
respond.
under the bridge, as it were. As far as the proceeding in front of me goes, I'll honor the ruling of Judge Christensen. I'm not going to redo it. So, however, I do have to decide where we go from here. So, all right, I'll let Ms. Bueno ask any questions she might have at this time.
I just have a couple questions. You mentioned that you've been with Great Start. You've been a teacher with Great Start for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Is that different than Great Start Family Coalition?
So it's all under one umbrella. The Great Start Family Coalition is just a sector.
So would it be possible for you to be a part of Great Start in a different sector other than the Family Coalition?
I am. Yes, but sometimes we do collaborative work.
But okay, so I mean, would it be possible for you just to not do the collaborative work and just do the other sections that aren't part of the Family Coalition?
Unfortunately, no, because it's my job. So if I'm asked to participate in those, I have to.
Okay, when you say job, are you referring to a contract?
Yes, a contract.
Now, you mentioned that you've been on several committees over the
Yes,
years.
I have.
How many committees have you been on?
I really couldn't tell you. The Learning Disabilities Association of West Michigan, the West Michigan Perinatal Quality Collaborative, obviously, the Great Start, the ESL Collaborative. I was the president for the Aquinas College Early Childhood Association. There's been lots over the last 20 years.
So you're saying there's plenty of other collaboratives you could go on that are not the ones that we've listed?
This is my full-time job and my livelihood. And I'm not harassing Kara in any type of way, shape, or form, or talking to her.
Yes or no? You just
No.
listed a bunch of other collaboratives. You're saying that you cannot go on those other collaboratives instead of the ones that are listed in our motion to modify.
No, I cannot.
Why not?
I am no longer a student at Aquinas College. I am a graduate.
Okay. And so are you saying these are the only, this collaborative and coalition are the only places that you can actually do your is it early education work with the community?
For my current job, yes.
How are you hired? If you're an employee with them, how's that your job? How are you hired?
I've put in an application and I had an interview with a panel and they hired me.
Hey, wouldn't it be possible to tell them that you could do other sections of other sections of the Great Start instead of the Family Coalition?
Sometimes we have to do collaborative meetings, like I stated several times. I don't get to choose that. I'm not the director.
Are there other people who could do it in your place so that way you're not present on
I am not. I can't answer that because I don't know.
I have no other questions.
All right, thank you. Any follow-ups you would like to explain more thoroughly, Ms. Russell?
Yeah, I guess just that Kara's friend Melinda had asked for lawyer fees last time as well and was denied those lawyer fees.
It's not going to be before, at least that's not, Ms. Bueno, does your current motion ask for attorney fees?
It does, because like I said, since the PPO, she has been going to Zoom meetings and emails, and I guess there were, Zoom meetings. in
But
the
I haven't harassed at all.
Okay, and I take it, Ms. Russell, you're opposed to paying those.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, here's what I'm going to do for today, and I kind of shoehorned this hearing in between other hearings, so I apologize for the lack of time or the brevity of the hearing. When I, suspect there's probably more testimony and things we could take today, but I don't also have the whole file in front of me. Is I will take the request to modify the the PPO under advisement. That is, it won't be modified right now. However, I will consider it and issue a written opinion whether or not I'm going to modify it and why I did so or don't do so. And I'll also rule on the question of attorney fees at that same time once I'm able to review the written file. Is there anything else that we must do today from your opinion, Ms. Bueno?
No.
Okay. All right, Ms. Russell?
No, Your Honor, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, well, thank you both for your, very civil deportment and conduct decorum today. I greatly appreciate that in the context of the court. And like I say, I will review the written file, take it under advisement, and issue a written opinion. I'll endeavor to get that out next week because that's going to be my last chance before I take a couple of weeks off for the holidays here. However, if it doesn't get done in the next week, it could be as long as 30 days at the outside. So that's kind of the timeline. Otherwise, just continue to observe the PPO as it stands currently. So with that, we're concluded. Thank you. This matter is before the court today at the time and place scheduled for a hearing on the alleged violation of the court's personal protective order. Counsel, will you please place your appearances on the record?
Yeah, Vanderkolk for the people, Your Honor.
Very good. And Mr. Jansma.
On behalf of the respondent.
All right. And Mr. Jansma, it's my understanding that your client is willing to make an admission to a violation at this time?
Yes. Mr. Vanderkolk indicated that he would be okay with a no contest plea. My client still has pending criminal charges in circuit court. So he intends to do a no contest plea. I'm not sure if the court has a police report or not, but there is an admission in the police report that could be used as a basis for the plea.
I think what I'll do is I will just have you read that into the record then, Mr. Jansen. I do have a copy of it, but I don't have the exact quote out of it right in front of me here. If that's acceptable to you.
Mr. Vanderkolk could read it into the record. I don't know. I'd have to go into our system to get the police report.
Ah, okay.
I have it. I mean,
You do, Mr. Vanderkolk?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good. Well, then I just need to swear in Mr. Maldonado. Mr. Maldonado, if you'd please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony today will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Mr. Maldonado, has anyone offered you anything in exchange for your plea of guilty or your no contest plea this afternoon?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone threaten you to get you to plead no contest?
No, Your Honor.
So your decision to enter a no contest plea is voluntary. It's your own decision.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And Mr. Vanderkolk, would you please read in the factual basis for the no contest plea at this time?
Certainly, Your Honor. Let's see. Angel briefly described that he was previously romantically involved with L'Oreal. Angel acknowledged that a PPO was issued against him and then stated that, quote, I made the mistake of going over there, unquote, while the PPO was in place. I think
Okay.
the implication is that going over there was L'Oreal's residence.
Very good. I think that's a fair implication. Do you agree that's an adequate factual basis, Mr. Jansma? Very good. Then I will accept the no contest plea, finding it voluntary, supported by an adequate factual basis. We'll move directly to the sentencing portion of the hearing at this time. Mr. Jansma, anything on behalf of Mr. Maldonado?
This is a first-time violation, and I believe that in light of that, a fine would be the appropriate remedy. Also, as you know, we're dealing with this in circuit court with Judge Denenfeld, so there's other consequences that are going to be coming of this.
Okay, all right. In other words, there's a circuit court case, and at least insofar as the circuit court case is it a stalking case based on the same exact facts?
Yes, Your Honor.
It is.
Aggravated stalking.
Okay. Well, and is there any concern in a case like that where the factual basis is exactly the same, that we would run into a double jeopardy
No.
issue if I imposed, well, what about confinement?
No, Your Honor, there's no double jeopardy or confinement issues. This has been dealt with in case law. I don't have it right here, but this has been addressed on appeal and there is no double jeopardy issues.
And certainly, I suppose Judge Denenfeld could grant credit if he so chose for any confinement time that I asked for. What's your office's position on the appropriate sentence for the violation, Mr. Vanderkolk?
Your Honor, I'd ask if the court would hear from Ms. Jenny, if she has any statement to make at this time.
Certainly, that would be appropriate. Ms. Jenny, do you have any statement that you wish to make at this time?
I do. I personally want jail time. I've been really affected by this. I'm a single mom and I'm scared for my safety and my children's safety. I'm in like this constant fight or flight mode. I've installed like a security system. I've changed my phone number because he has violated this PPO more than once. And I'm scared that if like he can't get to me, I'll have someone else do that for him. It's just very traumatizing and sorry. I just want him to go away. I know he has a tether on, but that's the only thing that is stopping him, if at all.
All right. Thank you, Miss Jenny. Mr. Maldonado, anything you would like to say on your own behalf before imposed sentence?
Yes, sir. I'm literally not attempting to do anything, Your Honor. I'm just trying to work so I can get through whatever I have to get through, whatever it may be that I have to get through.
Were you employed, Mr. Maldonado?
I'm employed at Trailer Equipment Express. I'm sorry, my brain is tapping out. I've been here for almost a year now. I just got Employee of the Month. I've just got several bonuses for performance bonuses. I'm literally, Your Honor, I'm just trying to work and kind of trying to get back to a life. My son had quit school because of all this was going on. He's actually the one who caught me and her messing around via telephone. He quit school on me. He quit football. He quit wrestling. Just last week, he's back in school. He's back in wrestling. We just went to his first meet. I'm literally just trying to keep my kids in line. I'm just trying to be able to survive.
Your son's a teenager, Mr. Maldonado?
Yes, sir. He just turned 17 last month, and I just don't want my kid to get in any trouble. And I've been going back and forth with him for a while. I'm just trying to keep my son on a better track than I was ever on.
And are you single parenting him, Mr. Maldonado, or is your wife there as well?
My wife is there. We're kind of in a rough spot considering everything that's going on. I'm like I said, I'm just trying to be a dad to my children.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your statement. I also appreciate Miss Jenny's statement here. The violation here, is significant in that, of course, after no contact order was in place, there's evidence that Mr. Maldonado went to the address, which, of course, anyone who had filed a PPO in the first place, and I will note here, jumping backwards in the file to Miss Jenny's original basis was that, she did allege an abusive relationship that she got out of when she ended this relationship. And of course, reappearance or persistence, Mr. Maldonado, and trying to contact Miss Jenny would cause anyone to be reasonably apprehensive or fearful. However, in acknowledgement of the fact that Mr. Maldonado is under a tether that prevents him from going near Miss Jenny, in my observation, I've had many defendants wear those tethers, and they're effective. They do exactly what they're supposed to do, and that they'll give you a warning call if Mr. Maldonado came within the radius he's not supposed to. And of course, they also call the police so that, the police are on their way to make an arrest should he, commit a violation like this again. I do believe a suspended jail sentence is appropriate in this point. I will therefore impose a fine of $250. That amount gets paid via the PPO office. I believe it goes to the library fund, and I will also impose a 93-day jail sentence, but I'm going to suspend that pending no further violations here. Should there be even a hint of a text or I don't care if it's a, drunk text, butt dial, whatever it is, I don't want to hear it. I want, when I say no contact, I mean absolutely no contact, perfect obedience with the order. That's what you've told me you want to do here, Mr. Maldonado, and I'm going to put the ball in your court to make sure that you actually do it. And if you don't, I'll just throw you in jail for that 93 days, and that might end the job, and certainly will end your, being able to advocate for your son and important things like that you've told me about. So certainly would encourage you to, think about those consequences long before you engage in any contact that violates the PPO. So we'll advise you it's a final judgment of the court today, so you do have the right to appeal my decision. Your appeal would be by leave to the Michigan Court of Appeals. If you do want to appeal, Mr. Maldonado, but you can't afford an attorney for the appeal, I would appoint an attorney to represent you on that. If you do decide you do want to have me appoint an attorney at no cost, you do need to let me know. I'll send you the form for that, but you need to send me that form back within the next 42 days, or I'd have to deny the request. Anything else we need to place on the record, Mr. Vanderkolk?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Jansma?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you all, and thank you all for your civility and decorum during today's hearing. With that, we are concluded.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day, Your Honor.
Thank you.